So maybe you aren't convinced yet. I'm going to tell you why I think you should do it. Why should you do writing workshop? For one, writing workshop creates independent learners. I think that, we really need to make sure that we're sending our high school students, teenagers, young adults into the world with some independence. And this model forces them to be independent. They have to take ownership over their own learning. They have to work on things at their own pace. They have to start something on their own. They can't rely on a fill in the blank or a circle A, B, or C. So really, writing workshop does create this independence within teenagers that they're definitely going to need later on in life. Why else? Writing workshop lets students explore their own interests. This is important. I mentioned this on the last slide, but really, as a 16-year-old or however old you might be when you're doing writing workshop, you kind of have a niche. You know what you like and you know what you're interested in, and that's not always super easy to express verbally sometimes. And I think that doing so through writing is really therapeutic and helpful and fun for students to kind of talk about things that they're interested in, in a different way. Because they're not verbally talking about it, they're writing about it. But then when they get to share their writing with either peers or you as their teacher, you and kind of the students themselves get to just kind of understand one another better. So it's pretty cool. Writing workshop takes teacher-centered classrooms and make them student-centered. This is definitely in the 21st century something that seems like education is pushing towards, having kind of student-centered classrooms, making the classrooms more collaborative. The idea that it's our classroom, as in the teachers and the students, not just the teacher's classroom anymore. And writing workshop definitely creates that environment, that atmosphere. And then lastly, writing workshop encourages peer collaboration and builds healthy peer relationships. This is something that I just think is one of the coolest benefits of writing workshop. I teach a lower level class, and sometimes those lower level learners have a hard time communicating positively. And, they come in August not really wanting to talk to me very much, not wanting to positively talk to their peers necessarily. And after a couple weeks of writing workshop, and me, in a sense, forcing them to get into groups and revise together and share together and read some of their stuff out loud, they start to kind of really develop relationships with one another, and the classroom really does become more of a community type atmosphere. And that's great because later on in life, they're going to need to be able to effectively communicate with employers or, future students, colleagues. Everything is about communication in today's day and age, and this is something that prepares them for strong communication skills. And they get to kind of learn things about one another that maybe they never realized. You could go to school with somebody for 8 years and never know that you have the exact same interests as them, or maybe you went through a similar experience. So it also develops just friendships, which is awesome.